I will be taking you through a virtual walk through biodiversity, one of the most admirable biodiversity hotspots in Chennai, which is Adyar Eco Park. So I'm Supraja Narasimhan. I'm a teacher trainee, basically, who is pursuing her second year in Lady Wellington College. So yes. So this is the map of the Adyar Eco Park. So the Eco Park is also called as the Tolkapir Punga or Adyar Eco Park or just Adyar Park. This initiative was taken by government of Tamil Nadu. The total land area, including the aquatic water bodies and all such, includes 358 acres, but these 358 acres have been divided into several phases, like phase 1, phase 2, and all. So phase 1 comprises of 58 acres, where I actually did my study. My study is basically on the hemipteran and coleopteran diversity at the park, which is nothing but the bugs and the beetles, which is lesser known to many people. Concentrating more on the eco park. The eco park comprises of tropical dense evergreen forest trees and shrubs, which comprises of thick dark foliages throughout the year. So all these blue patches that we see are nothing but the aquatic water bodies, and the dense green color that we see are nothing but the patches of the tropical dense evergreen forests. And there are several mudflats in and around the aquatic water resources. This mudflats helps the migratory birds to breed and to sit and rest and so on. So this was actually open to public in the year 2011, but by 2012 itself, recordings were coming around, and about 10 species of amphibians have been reported from the park in 2012. And not only that, 27 species of fishes, 19 species of reptiles, and literally 90 species of birds have been reported, and also 13 species of mammals have been reported. So when we just look around all these records, it's basically on those higher grade animals like vertebrates. But what about invertebrates? When we take about invertebrates, when you see an insect, you literally tell that it is a bug. We get freaked out when we see an insect and so on. So I'm just going to give few glimpses about the butterflies and some dragonflies that is being seen in the park, and also a few insect and plant interactions. And I'll be focusing on the hemipteran and coleopteran diversity. So this is the park view inside, and this we won't even believe that this eco park is situated at the center of the city, which is highly populated and highly polluted. This green cover actually aids in welcoming more mammals, birds, migratory birds. By the year 2018 or so, there have been 200 species of birds being recorded at the park. So this is the Adyar Creek estuary. So yes, there are several wildflowers the park been planted. There are about 160 woody species of trees being planted in the 58 acres of Adyar Estuary Creek, which is phase 1. So the first one is white buttercup plant. When you enter inside the park, there will be several patches of these plants, which is welcoming you, and it is very pleasing. It is a very beautiful plant, and it is also a larval host plant for tawny costal butterfly. It is a very beautiful plant. And below there is a a picture called mango pine. This is a very small flower, and when you walk through the park inside, deeper inside, you can spot these in bunches towards the left side of the park. So these are very beautiful flowers, mango pines. And the above picture is morning glory, which belongs to Ipomia species. It is also a very pleasing flower. It is a wine flower. And the below picture, wandering dew. This wandering dew is comprises of very beautiful lavender colored flowers. Actually, that flower is not completely bloomed yet. Yet it is very beautiful to see, and you actually can admire these flowers at the park. And The below picture is periwinkle. You can often see at several houses they will be planting these periwinkle plants, which is a very beautiful plant, and it is also very pleasing. The next plant is above, which is called which is a weed actually. It is called as blue snake weed. Actually, this weed is an invasive plant species, but it is a very important plant for butterflies. And the below picture is a plains cupid butterfly, which has been over a peacock flower. So this belongs to Caesalpinaceae family. Now we'll be diving into the butterflies. I actually spotted around 18 species of butterflies, which was not my study area. First one is the great egg-fly male. It is a very beautiful butterfly, and the below picture is a crimson rose belonging to Papilionaria family, and is a mating pair, and it is also a very beautiful butterfly. So next picture, you can actually spot several pansies in and around the Chennai area and outskirts. It is very common in our city. I've just spotted one pansy, which is chocolate pansy, and the above picture is common crow. And this is common Mormon mating pair. This is actually the nuptial flight, where it is an act of behavior. It is a behavior where before mating, this ritual happens in insects. At this moment I have to thank Evangeline Devraj, who is a PhD scholar who actually exclusively studies on butterflies, and she has contributed few picks in this. First one is common banded owl. It is a very common butterfly species in Chennai, and the below picture is a blue tiger, which is over Tridax, nectaring over Tridax, and Tridax is also a very important plant, and it is a very important nectarine plant indeed. So next picture is mud puddling common leopard butterfly. Yes, this first picture is Tonychosur adult butterfly, and the below picture is larva over white buttercup plant. Yes, coming to lichenids, the lichenids are very small butterflies. They are very beautiful. The first one is the common pirate, and it is black and white and very beautiful and very pleasing. And the second one is plains cupid, as I showed before in the plant section. So this picture is lime blue butterfly over coxcomb, over dried coxcomb plant, and this is common cerulean. Both common banded owl and common cerulean, the larval host plant is the Pongamia pinnata, that is the Pongai maram. It is a very native, very important plant, medicinal plant, and it is a very, it is a native plant indeed. Now this picture comprises of, common jay butterfly. It is also a very beautiful common butterfly, and also tailed jay. Yes. So this picture comprises of small salmon arab, and the next one is lime butterfly. Lime blue and lime butterfly are two butterflies where the larval host plant of these butterflies is citrus plant, the lemon tree. So these are few dragonflies I've just spotted in the area. First one is the Asiatic blood-tailed dragonfly, and the below picture is wandering glider. It has recently gained. In a recent decade, it has recently gained zoological interest because it is the only known insect to migrate over long distances. The next picture is ditch well. It actually lays eggs in the contaminated water. So whenever you spot these insects in larger amount, then you can conclude that there is some kind of contaminated water in and around your area. So yes, I'm diving into the main part of the picture. The hemipteran insects, that is bugs, leaf hoppers, plant hoppers, and so on. So first one is the watermelon stink bug, which is also called as watermelon bug. It is a pest of watermelon species plants. And the next picture which is immediate to that, is pot sucking bug. I want to just tell you guys that most of these bugs and beetles don't have common name. They have been derived. They have derived their common name from their behavior or the body structure or the host plants. So they don't have in Tamil name. So I'm sorry for that. This is called as Riptotus pedestris. It is also a pot sucking pest, and you know what it does is, when you just approach it closer, what it does, it lifts it lifts its abdomen. I thought it's just gonna peep out and just go off, but what it does was, it just lifted its abdomen and just ejected an awful smelling fluid, which is the predatory response for this insect. So the below picture is a milkweed aphid, which is exclusively seen in milkweed plants, and it latches itself into the milkweed leaves. So next picture, as Ashwati told, it is being spotted everywhere. It is a very beautiful bug, which is called as Chrysocoris tolli in scientific name. But this beautiful looking bug is actually a pest, which is polyphagous pest. It means it can literally eat anything, any plant species. So next one is brown-winged green shield bug. Its scientific name is Plotia fimbriata. This Plotia fimbriata is a pest of leguminous plants. And the below one is a cow bug. It has derived its name cow bug because there are two lateral horns at the head and one central horn. These horns are actually used in piercing the leaves and saps and to suck the fluid. So it actually lives in a mutual relationship with ants. The next picture is box bug. It is a very beautiful nymph. Actually, this is a nymph. One negative aspect of identifying the bugs is that the nymphal stage and the adult stage will be totally different. You can't even tell that this nymph belongs to this adult. So it is very difficult. This box bug, actually, the host plant of these bugs are box trees. So yes. So you all might have come across this insect in and around your area. The first one is a stainer bug or cotton stainer bug. It is a pest of hibiscus plant, okra, and so on. The next picture is, it doesn't have a common name. It is Propergrothius sanguinolens, and it is a pest of Malvaceae plants. The nymphs, actually the young version of these insects, actually feed on both plants and animals. Plants, they suck their cell sap, and for animals, they feed on their carcasses. So next, we are diving into the beetles, which is Coleoptera. This Coleoptera comprises of both beetles and weevils. So we are going to see some important coleopterans which has ecological significance. First one is six-spotted zigzag beetle. This beetle is actually aphidophagous. That means they exclusively feed on aphid bugs. So these insects are used in agriculture sector, where these are these acts as biological agents. And the next picture is pumpkin beetle. As the name suggests, it is a pest. It predates over the pumpkin, especially it feeds on the flowers, the buds, and the foliages. When it feeds on, the pollination actually stops, and naturally the plant dies. The below picture is a beautiful leaf twisting weevil. So this leaf twisting weevil looks like a giraffe. It is also called as a giraffe weevil because its neck is quite longer than usual weevils. It is also a pest. So next beetle is a Hada beetle, or 28 spotted ladybird beetle. So this beetle is a ladybird beetle which is a pest of solanaceous crops. It actually feeds on radish, beans, spinach, and all the legume plants. So next one is Anaglis cardoni, which is also used as a biological agent in agricultural sectors. And the fourth instar larva of this insect, this beetle, is an effective colonist, and it is also effective against aphids. So they exclusively feed on aphids. And the below picture is Malaysian ladybird beetle. These exclusively feed on, this is also used as a predator. This beautiful insect feeds on scale insects, and it acts against sugarcane pests, and it is an effective colonist. It is also used in agriculture. Now we all may wonder that all these species are actually pests of crops and predators, how they are actually seen in the center of the city. So that is the amazing part. These insects have adapted so well that they can literally colonize every crop or alternative members of the family. So this is a transverse ladybird beetle. The life cycle is shown, the larva, the pupa, and the adult. This is also an agriculture predator. It is used in agriculture sector. So the spittlebug. These spittlebugs are actually seen in the milkweed plants. The young one is the one in the above. So what it does is it secretes a frothy secretion around itself to protect from the environmental heat, and when the temperature lowers, it actually this insect dies. So what it does is it actually secretes a frothy secretion around itself, which is the nest for it. So it is a pest of milkweed plants. And next one is tree stink bug. This is a beautiful insect. I haven't identified it yet because the scientific name is a bit confusing for me. The few insects are yet to be identified, so hope so I will do it. And this all these insects that I'm showing, especially the bugs, they have one thing in common, that is they have a particular microhabitat, and they adapt defense mechanism, camouflaging techniques in and around their microhabitat. So that is the most significant part. And this is not a bug or a beetle, but I just showed here because it has an amazing camouflaging technique. First one is a bark mantis, and the below one is a praying mantis. The bark mantis derived its name because it is exclusively seen in the bark of the tree, and this praying mantis is they are seen in many gardens, and what they do is they actually feed on other insects, which is actually a natural biological control agent. So you can have them in your garden. So thank you for this opportunity. I thank each and everyone. Just a little note. Sometimes we fail to appreciate little things. There are so many. And no living organism is created ugly. It depends on the way we see and the way we understand. Thank you for this opportunity.